I'm 45 years of age, and while I have spoken in front of audiences for a great many reasons, everything from weddings to funerals, and I'm in IT, so I've also done a lot of training classes. This, shamefully, is the first time that I have ever spoken on the subject of Black history. Now, the first mistake he made is that I'm not going to be doing a reading. I'm actually going to be doing interpretive dance. No, kidding. I'm sorry. I'm obviously not dressed or doing splits and jumps in the air. But I think one of the reasons that I've never done it before is because I really don't, or rather haven't, until recent years, identified with being Black. And you might find that odd, as I'm probably one of the blackest people in the room. And I know why that is. But before I tell you why, let me explain to you a little odd detail about me. When I was a child, I was very, very small. I was very, very thin. I was both autistic and dyslexic. That's a bad combination. Bad. My mother would often go to school, and one teacher would say, "Mrs. Matthews, your son is really not that bright. You know, he's not this intelligent kid. You should get him tested. He shouldn't be here." And then she'd go to another classroom, and the teacher would say, "Mrs. Matthews, your son is brilliant. This child is so smart. You should get him tested. He shouldn't be here." And the one thing that they had in common was that I should not be there and she should have me tested. And when she got me tested, she found that I was both autistic and dyslexic. And once they taught me how to learn, I learned to speak 3 languages. I played the violin, the clarinet, and the piano fluently. And yes, I did take ballet classes. But we're not going to do the dance thing. We're not going to do the dance thing. But the reason that I didn't identify my Blackness is as a child, because I was so intelligent, I didn't identify well with the other children in the neighborhood that I went to, that I lived in. And I was often teased about being what you now see as dark and handsome. But that kind of made me shy away from the Black aspects of my existence and kind of deal with more of the intellectual side of who I was as an individual. And I really never had what you would call the typical Black experience. So I lived in bad neighborhoods and all the other things that all the other challenges that all other Black men deal with, I dealt with, but I dealt with it totally differently, okay? My mother sent me most of my weekends to my aunt's house in predominantly white neighborhood, Westfield, still very predominantly white, very affluent, and most of my friends I grew up with were white. So because I was taught and more intellectual than I walked like them and I talked like them, I listened to music like them, when I came to my neighborhood, they made me feel even less Black because I wasn't inarticulate, because I didn't play the games they played, I didn't listen to the music they listened to. That's not really the point of all of this. I just wanted to give you an insight into who's in front of you so you would know the psychosis that is me. But Malik asked me to do this, and while it was way out of my wheelhouse of what my speaking ability is usually on, I was more than comfortable with doing it because I'll talk about anything. Anyone who knows me for 5 minutes knows I can talk about anything. And as a 45-year-old Black man, I figured it's probably time to embrace my Blackness at least a little bit, despite my scientific studies that suggest that everyone in this room is Black because the first people are from Africa. And they became what they are by virtue of going to other places. See, the nerd, I told you it's in there. And so whether you think you are or you aren't, you are, it's irrelevant. Because what is most relevant is not what you are on the outside, it's what you are on the inside. Okay? Not your skin, not how big your lips are, how juicy your booty is, excuse me, or any of that. What's most important is what's on the inside. Now, because it is Black History Month, obviously, and I'm supposed to talk on that subject, let's get down to it. Now you know who you're dealing with and what's wrong with me. I want to share, I was going to do some poetry. I write poetry. I have volumes of poetry, but I said I'm not going to do that because that's going to be irresponsible. That's going to glorify me, and I don't want to do that. I'd rather glorify some very important people, some heroes of mine. Okay, so here's a couple of heroes that you may not be aware of. Anne Dunham, Harriet Green, Ben Ross, Alberta Williams, Harriet Bailey, and Anthony Aaron. Now you're probably saying, I don't know any of those names, but I'm going to tell you who they are again, and then I'm going to tell you who their children are. Okay? Anne Dunham and Barack Obama Sr. are the parents of Barack Obama, our most recent president, until Trump took over. Okay? Harriet Green and Ben Ross are the parents of Harriet Tubman. Okay? Alberta William King and Martin Luther King Sr. are obviously the parents of Martin Luther King Jr. Harriet Bailey and Anthony Aaron are the parents of Frederick Douglass. Now you might ask me, why did I bother to mention the parents of these people? And I should think that the answer would be obvious and evident. And it is the quote that I wrote on this piece of paper. You can take this with you in life. I find it to be awesome. Greatness does not exist in a vacuum. Everything and everyone comes from somewhere and someone. Everyone in this room has the ability to affect another human being's life adversely and spur them to greatness. Not only can you encourage others to be great, but you yourself can be great. Your parents can be the parents who some kid 20 years from now speaks their name in front of a mic and says, did you know these parents? And you might be one of those parents. You have no idea. I'm sure Barack Hussein Obama's parents did not know that he'd be the president. I can almost guarantee it. I'm sure that Harriet Tubman's parents didn't know that she would do the things that she would do, or any other names that I spoke of. Most people who parent tremendously fantastic human beings have no clue that their child is going to be what they become. Can we all agree on that?
Yes. Yes.
I suppose my point of bringing that to light is that we all have an opportunity and a responsibility to do two things, and two things only. And it is this. Achieve what is your personal best in life, whatever that happens to be. Not by the definition of others or by comparison to them, but to yourself. And two, influence others to do the same. Because only by aspiring to your very best can we improve this world that we live in. Until we all forget or are reminded that we are all of one species, and that is human, and that color does not matter, and that race does not matter. As long as this is necessary, Black History Month is necessary, we have to try and remember that there are great Black leaders, there are great Black historians, whatever the case may be, people throughout recorded history who have done great things, and their contribution is tremendous. Do the research. Greatness does not happen in a vacuum. We have contributed to society as a whole in a tremendous way. And if you don't believe me, do your research. You don't have the time for me to tell you what I know. But while it's still necessary, while there is still oppression, while there is still fear, and there is still hate, there must also be people like yourselves who take it upon themselves to be responsible to commemorate the greatness of these people. And to figure out how we can get rid of that hate and get rid of that fear and to get rid of that divide that is between us. Because it ain't that great. It's really not. Any man in here, any woman in here, regardless of the color of their skin, can come together and make a baby. And those babies can grow up to be the doctors and the lawyers and the scientists and anything they want to be, anything they're encouraged to be. So I'm going to leave you with that, because I have not much else to say. No, I do, but I won't waste your time. Thank you so much, Malik, for having me, and DIY and your colleagues and all that. It's been fantastic. I really appreciate it. Stop looking at skin. It's absurd, okay? Start looking at what you can do to improve yourself as a person and encourage others to do the same, and that's how we fix this world, okay? Thank you.